Semifinal number 2. We're ready, everybody. We get Hacktopia against the Jellyfish Boys. So the tournament continues. We're still at the Fishbowl Cup, at the Korean tournament. Chinese teams are all out. We have a couple of Chinese players on the side of Hacktopia, at least. So there's that. At least a little bit of representation. Team Fly, on the other hand, was defeated very soundly in the other semifinal. Now that we're heading into the best of 5 series here at hand, we're gonna find out which one of the two is gonna take it. Now, Gonda has played like a god in the quarterfinal. I would be a little bit terrified going up against Gonda right now, but if you look what's represented on the side of the Jellyfish Boys, we got Lockdown, we got Frankel over there, so a lot of good players. What we talked about in the previous games with the meta is obviously still true here. Malfurion, he pretty much doesn't make it through the draft. He gets banned all the time here. And here we go, Tychus as a very early pick. We got Greymane and Stukov also taken, so yeah, good for that. And yeah, let's see. I'm a little bit... the Greymane priority that we have on the Korean side is actually out of this world. If you compare that to what we are seeing in the Western scene, there's just like no comparison whatsoever. Like, it's a totally different ballgame. But at the same time, there's a couple of heroes that are very represented in European meta that just make no appearance. I mean, have you seen an Uther pick ban? Consistently banned in Europe right now. Now, Diablo and Sonya come in, and yeah, Gonda's Diablo yesterday was insane. Absolutely insane. So if he can repeat that performance in any way, shape or form today, whew, that would be a spicy one. Lucio gets banned out and we got Sky Temple coming in. Okay. Yeah. A little bit interested to see if there finally are a couple of globals. I mean, again, this is another map where you could play around globals, and on Europe you would definitely see that. But Korea doesn't, I mean, they don't really address that. We haven't seen a single false stat. We have seen no Dehaka plays. We have seen a single Deathwing, I think, to at least have a bit of a pseudo-global style. No Brightwings either. So if you compare the Western and the Asian meta right now, those are probably the biggest differences there. But yeah, Sonya still super powerful. Hogga also has been played a ton, not banned, not picked just yet, but we could see him here. But if the opening is Stukov Greymane, you are expecting to see Varian. So it's a bit weird to me how the team... Like, I mean, again, it's a little bit of a weird setup. There's a currently... okay, we don't get that at all. Instead, they're going for Zul and for Mei. And with Greymane and Stukov, I expected Varian or Nubarak. And we saw that combo a couple of times now already, so it's not like they don't play it. But there's not really as much counter play as we've seen on the European side. We've seen, I think, one game where Medivh was picked into it or against it, just to make sure that you have the shield available and also the portal to escape. Bit of an Anduin setup in one of the previous ones too, to pull the target out after it gets taunted. Karazim, so a bit more of an aggressive style here on Sky Temple. And Junkrat. Yeah, Junkrat is the first time that he appears in the semifinals. We've seen him a couple of times in the quarters. But yep. Okay, and the last pick here for Frankel as we are heading into our best of 5 series, the semifinal. I mean, total is a prize pool of $2,500. So if you make it into the grand final, your second place at least secured, and it gives you a big chunk of money. And there we go, Falstad, thank you. Finally, was about time. Finally a Falstad pick. Let's see what he can do with it. Game number 1, everybody, the best of 5 series here at our Korean tournament, Sky Temple. Game on, everybody! Jellyfish Boys against Hacktopia. Map number 1, Sky Temple. On the left side, the blue team with Lockdown on Zul. We got Relic on Greymane, Frankel on Falstad, Hepali on Mei, and Crow on Stukov. On the right side of the map, Hacktopia with Gonda on Diablo, Timeless on Tychus. We got Hack on Karazim, Taido on Junkrat, and Kirizaku is playing Sonya. Alright, awesome. Yeah, that's actually a pretty sweet setup on both sides here. A little bit different from what we've seen through the meta so far. We got a Falstad, we got a Zul on the side of the blue team, and of course the Karazim for Hack as we're heading into our first game of the best of 5 series. Now, the first semifinal was a bit of a blowout. Here in the second one, might see 2 teams that are a bit more evenly matched. I was really impressed in the quarterfinals, even the ones that ended with a 2-0. They were very, very close. Most of them, at least. So it was pretty impressive there too. But yeah, either way. towards the top side. We already got lockdown half. I mean, lockdown. If he gets hit by that spear, I don't think he's going to die there right away, but it's definitely going to get dangerous for him. So, good job dodging on that. He is still playing with fire here. Lockdown is now trying. Yeah, there it is. There's the hit. There's the speed. Gets the shield out. All right. Kirizaku. Oh! Less than 100 hit points. Oh boy. Yeah, that is a dangerous, dangerous game that he's playing at the top. That could backfire very, very, very quickly. So, well, let's see what we're getting here. Because for now, it seems like the red team is putting a little bit more pressure in. We already have down to the bottom of the map Taido sitting in position for the camp, dealing with that. Junkrat, of course, has a couple of tools in his belt that he can use for all of that. And all the way up towards the top, Kirizaku is already sitting tight. We have Timeless moving topside again. I mean, everybody is just now converging onto the temples that are being activated here, trying to get that set up, having another half minute until that's the case. Normally Falstad would focus onto the bot lane and then fly in whenever he's needed. Went into the hammer gains as the level 4 talent, so a bit more sustain on lane for him too. And in the meantime, talking about Falstad, is actually starting to jump down to help out Zul a little bit. Sonya and Zul have switched lanes, initially up at the top and now moving back down to the bottom of the map. Zul is great for the immortal phase, sorry, not the immortal phase, the shrine phase as well, since he can simply rotate between the middle and the bottom and then do his thing there. And well, here we go. Level 5 talents for the Tomb of the Master Assassin, they really love it. I mean, they pick it pretty much for the additional attack speed for the passive. Very few will realistically expect to finish that talent in a reasonable time frame. But it's very interesting to me how often we've now seen Master Assassin being picked. It's like the 4th time. Now, Tigers gets played a lot, so it's not like they're locking it in every single time. But there is a certain regularity to it. More so on the Chinese side. I mean, Timeless picked it yesterday, the Chinese team picked it a bit earlier, so it seems to be more of a comfort pick on the Chinese teams. The Koreans not really hammering in on the level 4 talent as much as they do, but still, definitely interesting to see it this much. So they really, really like that passive 10%. But yeah, either way, with the shrines now being up, we are seeing the rotation between Sonya and Zul between the two lanes, so they're going to try and keep the experience up here. Frankel takes over in the mid lane for the blue team, and on the side of Hacktopia, it is the top temple that they're focusing on and that they're trying to get. And yep, there's the secret weapon, of course, now for Falstad, after he got the big upgrade a couple of patches ago. And a little fight here at the top. So far we haven't seen a kill, but with Junkrat displacing especially Stukov, that might be a target. And they're trying to go for him. And yeah, they can't get the kill. The grenade put him real low, but Karazim had to jump out, didn't want to follow this. So they tapped the fountain, but the shots are being fired at some extra damage. The fountain is gone, and the fort has also suffered. You see a similar situation in the middle of the map. Actually, here it's even worse. So the blue team is a bit ahead on structures, but still both of them were able to get the entire thing channeled through. So yeah, good on them. But still a bit of a slower start into the game. Over here, though, it's Lockdown who's in trouble. And Lockdown is in real trouble now. He already barely dodged out at the top battle, but now they are trying to cut his path of retreat off. Gondar, you know exactly where it is. Falstad is flying away, just abandoning the entire idea. They got Sonya at the bottom, and Sonya is the first one to be killed. But we also have Zul eliminated. Relic made it out, so it's a kill for a kill. Both of the offliners have fallen here. 1 kill for a kill, and yeah, good job so far. Both of the teams just not giving an inch. Everybody that... I mean, every single time that they're making a move, the opponent is drawing even. I guess it is going to start shifting once that the second objective is up on the map. When we have the single temple at the bottom. Timeless is getting his damage in against the camp, so they're going for the siege shines. Down here, the defense is there. But we'll see how much they can do, because if they can drop the fountain, I mean, that would be the dream. Over here, nothing done really, so there's a definite advantage for the Jellyfish boys. And they also have a slight lead in experience. I don't think they can use that early level 10 to collapse on anybody here and get some isolation going, even with Gust on the wall. But yeah, there's level 10 on both sides. And instead, it is the red team that is trying to make a play. And that didn't quite work out either. That was a nice idea. If you can come in and get the quick hits, then you're, of course, in a really nice spot because you have the 5 versus 4 going for yourself as the objective is up. But it backfired a little bit, and that's a big cooldown that Diablo just burned. Here comes the Skeleton Mages as they're starting to come in again. Falstad with a Gust. Not really the perfect setup for them, but Junkrat is very, very low. He gets out though, but barely. That could have been the end of him. And there's the Riptire. The Riptire from the safety of the backline. He wants the bird. He wants the bird. He's not going to get it. Yeah, there it is. The damage against Falstad and against Stukov, but it is not even close to dropping one of them. Talk about dropping things. Zul has escorted even more minions into the mid lane now, so that fort is in serious danger. You get a few shots down here. Timeless with Odin. Gonda gets attacked, and he is starting to drop low very quickly. That's the end of Diablo. There's no way he escapes this one. Dibble's down. He had the soul stacks together, so he's going to come back in a moment. Dead for now. Rast is jumping in, as you can see. 2 kills to 1 now in favor of the blue team, and they're applying more pressure bot side. 21 stacks now for the birdie. Falstad is doing well on that. And talking about Falstad, he's still sitting at the side here. He has Gust back up, so technically he can try to go for an isolation. It's not only the blue team that is pushing though and using the power on the lanes, it's also the red team as they are starting to push a few more lanes over towards the top fort. But thanks to the global, there is that macro advantage. I mean, I've been talking about this all day yesterday, that it's surprising to me how on all of the big maps, Falstad doesn't even seem to be a consideration. Doesn't mean you have to pick him every single game. But there were so many matches where he would have made sense. So I'm very happy that Frankel took him here. Even if they lose the game, it's good to see that global still have not lost all value, even in the Korean meta. So they're controlling the map quite nicely, and Falstad in particular, if you're looking at his experience gain. Zul is obviously ahead, since he's the one that has been holding to the side lane, not only in the early stages, but also during the first objective. But Falstad is pretty close. Nearly 8,000 for Falstad, so he's taking over a lot of the XP. And yeah, that's exactly what we need from a bird. But Zul is also pushing the bot lane out even further right now, and he is just slicing away. The early level 13 virulent reaction is in. Falstad with the synergy now, as he picks up his talent, goes for the sustained winds. The echoes of death are already in. May hasn't made a commitment yet. Boss is still up, and 30 now on both sides, and that for Tychus could give us also a bit more survivability if he goes into the Neosteel coding here. 1 stack, by the way, on the Master Assassin. As I said, it's about the passive. It's about the 10%. Nothing else. And Tychus is actually holding out on the talent for a bit longer. And Zul pushing the bot lane, trying to take those siege giants out. Once they're gone, their lane is going to push way more aggressively. Okay. Top side. Yeah, they're all moving around the bottom of the map now. Everybody's trying to set up that one gank that can give them the numbers advantage during the next objective. Or maybe even allow them to go for the boss in the first place, which would always be rather nice. But yeah, let's go. Down here at the bottom. Timeless is already still sitting tight, but he knows perfectly well where everybody is positioned. He needs to deal with the camp before he can join the rest of the boys to make sure that they're fighting for the next temple. Of course, there's a double temple up now, and Falstad, thanks to the global, can start to take some initial shots at the bottom of the map, and then, if the shit really hits the fan in the mid lane, can fly in, or they can just simply go for the exchange. One of the two. So, yeah, off we go. Falstad taking the bottom of the map. His level 4 is helping him a lot, of course, now with the sustain on this. Experience lead still in their hands. And I guess technically he could even push the lane out a little bit further and try to get the push in. Lockdown! Yes, there it is. The kill against Zul. Well done. The 7-sided strike. And Diablo moving in with the combo that was more than enough to take Zul down. Falstad is still taking the shots down here, and he is going to channel that through. So a few more hits are coming in, and that is the end of the top fort. So all of the forts have now been eliminated by the Jellyfish boys, which is a massive lead on structures, which is, I mean, it's honestly the only thing that matters on Sky Temple. So, structurally speaking, the Jellyfish Boys are murdering Hacktopia. They were only able to take a single fort down, not more than that. But you look at experience, and the red team is doing fairly well, given the circumstances. They're even a bit ahead on XP now. Likely going to change once that a few more of those minions, minion waves are being picked up here, but still. And towards the top, Frankel still playing this incredibly safe and slow. So, I would say it's looking still pretty good for the blue team here. It's more or less a question of whether or not they're able to continue that style, because eliminating all of the forts helps them with the objective. Quick double check at the boss down here. Level 16 talents are now in. 28,000 damage for Tychus. Not really that much team fight damage at this point for the boys in blue. 19,000 as you can see. 20,000 top damage for Greymane. And there we go. Battle is back up. Falstad could fly down if he wanted to. Turn into a 5 versus 4. It's exactly what happens. They're trying to get away, and they do. The ice wall not on point, and Sonya is of course eventually arriving at the scene of the crime as well. 16 talents for both of them. Continues the grenade build. We also get the cleansing touch in. So now finally the triple cleanse for Karazim. And besides that, we got the afterburner for the birdie. Not that many kills. 4 in total at the 12-minute mark. Both of them a bit more focused on the macro. Blue team, of course, because they have the global here. The red team, because they have to react to a lot of this. And now it's another double altar, double temple phase. So another opportunity for Falstad to shine and use his global here. And the boss is still up. You always have to keep an eye on that. Normally when you're playing a Sky Temple, at some point a team goes for a Hail Mary move towards the end of the game. But even here now, with both of those shrines being spread pretty much across the entire map, there's always a chance that you just get enough time to move in for the boss and try to take that. Top side, we're going to have those bruiser camps collide. Falstad is now starting to take over here, but the red team gets a slight lead as they're taking the first fort down. And now they're pressuring the top lane too, and that's going to be the last fort of the Jellyfish Boys that bites the dust. So, nicely done by Hacktopia. They're starting to equalize the structural position on the map. And that brings them fully back here. Now, Falstad is, of course, soaking the top side now, and that means that we have one of the keeps likely take at least a little bit of damage. Depends on what else is being played out here, but nobody's going for the big team fights at this point. Bot lane, they're all just sitting tight in the bushes, waiting for someone to move down and try to force a battle, but Diablo is totally content of just simply getting one shot in after another. And Falstad is in the same spot. There's also a big wave building up around the remaining pieces of the mercenary camp. Lockdown can help out there too. And everybody else is just guarding the boss and making sure that nobody is making a sneaky play for it. The keep has already taken damage, so good for the Jellyfish Boys. A few more shots are getting fired here. And Zul and Falstad are both moving topside to take the keep down, as the rest of the team is making sure that down here the red team is first of all busy and that they're not getting caught. So Falstad, he's going to push this in. And they are late. This keep is likely going to fall. If he can burn the wave down, that's all that he has to do. So everybody else is already moving in, trying to help out here. But I guess they can save it. But that, of course, forces at least Junkrat back, and you can already tell what's happening down here. It's a pretty nice move by the blue team. They put focus onto the top lane, force someone to retreat and save the keep. Falstad can now fly in, and that gives them the gust. Just in the right moment. So yeah, they start to move in for this one. Junkrat is on the way back too, but there's always Odin. And it gets used immediately. They want to go for the boss now, and all of a sudden it starts turning against the blue team. Junkrat is already attempting to secure the position with a mine. Gust is still super important. So is the ice wall, by the way. And the boss is about to go down. So here we go. There's the Gust. And Diablo is about to go down. And the blue team takes it. The boss is taken. Diablo is dead. They're going for the next kill. Sonya falls. Easy one right here. And now the move through the bot lane as they're attempting to chase even more. Timeless, he's the one that's in trouble. There's already the skating and he is just not getting away. The problem is that Karazim attempting to help him out might even end up with him dying too. Karazim is getting attacked, and indeed he falls. Karazim down, big push through the bottom of the map, and all of that starting with this little boss attempt here. I mean, the fight was absolutely on point. Diablo trying to hold the spot for as long as he could. The Gust, of course, came out, and then they killed Diablo. Down here, they even killed Junkrat now. Mei dies as well, so Junkrat gets traded for Mei, but it still is going to result in the keep getting dropped. And with only Diablo alive and the boss still kicking and the level 20 talent for the Jellyfish Boys, are you kidding me? Hell yeah, they're gonna go for the core. They're gonna end it right here. There's no way to bring this back. Sonya, she's gonna be back on the map in 2 more seconds. The Ragdoll completely getting bullied by the tornadoes. And that's the lead for the blue team, the Jellyfish Boys, with the victory on Sky Temple and our best of 5 at the semifinal.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Okay, game number 2, Tomb of the Spider Queen. Let's go. We got the Jellyfish Boys in the lead. And yeah, towards the end there, big victory on them. Both of the teams going for the boss. And both of them had a lot of tools here. You have the Junkrat Mine, you have of course the Mighty Gust. Diablo could play around all of this a bit and try to bully them away. And on top of that, you have Mei, who can always set the ice wall up too. But at the end of the day, in the fight, we had the blue team not only with the boss, but also with multiple kills that they could get. And Karazim, I can get why he was trying to save Tychus there, because they felt that without Tychus they have no chance of really defending. But I think the only thing that he accomplished there is that he committed honorable Subaru, and that was the end of it. So easy kill against him, and then it was only Diablo was left. Core falls after the keep gets absolutely crushed. Now we're starting things off again with Tychus as the first pick here. Malfurion gets banned, Vala gets banned, and this time Chromie is also getting eliminated. So you have a couple of picks still up that we've seen previously banned. Sylvanas is one of them. Ana as our early start into this. So no nano boosted Odin this time. And yeah, blue team with a big win on the first map. So can they follow up on this? This is going to be the big question right now. Can they make this a 2-0, or are we going to have a bit more of a fight between the two now if Hacktopia is able to bring it back? Mei is coming in. And yep, with that we already have a little bit of CC, a couple of slows there too. Alright, neat. But I'm more interested how the blue team is now trying to put that together, because currently I'm kind of impressed with them. The Jellyfish Boys, they played well yesterday. Both of the teams did. Gonda on Mei, I don't know why, but in my head, you know, I want him on Diablo. I want him on Diablo, I want him on Garrosh, I want him on a hero where he can just make the big plays there as he did yesterday. Mei has a huge impact if she's played properly, but she's not as flashy as others are. Now, there's Mal'Ganis, and we get Stukov together with it. Alright, no Deck Arcane for the full sleeper setup, but at least that. And yep, let's go. Last bans. Who are getting rid of. By the way, just coming back to it, Falstad, I really like that they played him. I like that he also won there. You could see the impact throughout the entire game. The entire boss scenario started to evolve around him pushing the top lane and forcing someone to move back so they could start it up and could force the battle around the boss and then use the gas to just push them away. So Falstad had a huge impact on this one, and I really like that they went for the globe. It's the first time in this tournament that we saw a Falstad pick, and I think it was absolutely amazing. So Chen gets banned again. Kind of feels a little bit bad, honestly. We've seen Chen yesterday, but today they're just getting rid of him time and time again. No Panda love at all. And there's the Sylvanas ban. It comes in a bit later, not part of the initial ban phase, but she still gets eliminated before Hacktopia can lock her in. So yeah, Sylvanas is another one of those heroes that has a higher priority in Korean and Chinese play than she does in the Western scene, even though obviously we see her there. Greymane. It's all about Greymane. Greymane, the Malthael pick for them too. So the nano-boosted Malthael is at this point definitely something they can use here. And then it's all about how can you stop Malthael? How can you lock him down? How can you come in and just simply make sure that he's not going to rip you apart with a nano boost? But we're heading into the final 2 picks for the blue team. So for now, what are the Jellyfish Boys gonna get here? Junkrat again. Great for the interrupts on gem turn-ins, of course. And Imperius. Imperius has been pretty much abandoned by Europe nearly completely. Not 100%, but don't see him a lot. But over here we still have him. I think he saw 1 or 2 games in the quarters. And now we're here in the semi-final. Our best of 5 before we're heading tomorrow into the best of 7 series, the grand final. Taido, last pick. To the Spider Queen. Red team wants to come back into the series. Can they? We're gonna find out Mephisto channeling his inner Macke as they're going for the Mephisto pick on Tomb of the Spider Queen. So that's another nano boost target also for Anna. Guys, let's jump in. Game number 2 in the best of 5 between the Jellyfish Boys and Hacktopia. Tomb of the Spider Queen, Frankel on Junkrat for the blue team. Relic on Tychus, Lockdown on Imperius. We got Crow on Stukov and Heberly on Mal'Ganis. On the right side of the map, Gonda on Mei. We got Hack on Anna, Timeless on Greymane, Taito on Mephisto, and Kirizaku on Malthael. Alrighty, let's go. Let's get the party started and see what we can pull off here. We have first and foremost the quarterback already in for our boy Tychus. So going for the grenade setup again. Reactive Ballistospores for Stukov. We got the Winged Guardian for our boy Mal'Ganis. And in the meantime, what else are we getting here? Well, first and foremost, we got the Ice Storm this time on level 1. And our little brawl in the middle of the map. Yeah, 5v5 right there on Tomb of the Spider Queen. It's Brawl City, baby. Immediately the trade on Gonda's Mei, but the reaction, as you could see, from Stukov too, and I like that. So he immediately tried to help the team out with a potential setup for a kill. Didn't quite come to that, but it's always nice when you have someone that is pushing in for that. Okay, so now that we're having our 1 versus 1 situation at the bottom of the map, it's Mephisto that goes up. Sorry, not Mephisto. Malthael. Malthael that goes up against Lockdown's Imperius. Pretty much what you would expect here. So, alright. On the left side of the map, still our little setup. Frankel and Crow are making their plays. I like the way that they are playing the first game. It was a bit more passive, I want to say. And a bit more tame. We've seen a couple of games just before the other semi-final where, especially with Team Fly, the Chinese team, everybody just went brawling. It was just kill after kill after kill after kill, and the entire time it was just like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat boys coming in, fight! Trying to take them down, but more of a tactical approach. Game number 1 between the Jellyfish Boys and Hacktopia here in semi-final number 2. And of course, this is a single elimination system. I've been talking about it during the quarters, that if you lose the series, then you are out. Now, if you make it into the top 4, you still get some prize money. But if you make it into the grand final, you get a lot more. That's a lot of pizza money on the line. So you want to make sure that you're winning this series. And for now, it's looking good for the blue team. Getting the first win is always kind of neat. But this might be a kill against Relic. And yes, Relic just got wrecked. So, nicely done. Mephisto comes in and takes him down. Goodbye, Tychus. That's an early level 4 talent for them too. And of course, we have the adjustments here. The Throwing Shade is already in. And they're going to go for it now. With all of the nano boost potential that we're having through Ana, this is going to be pretty neat. The Master Assassin, by the way, once again, the level 4 talent, all locking in that passive. Not even thinking about the reward system here. This is another one, by the way, another one of these talents that is pretty shitty. That reward is just garbage. It's similar to like the old setup, you know, with the Creed of the Noob that Blizzard had there. Like these systems that they have where they go for a ridiculous amount, they're just like straight up bad. So if they already want to rework some heroes and maybe some talents, this would be another one where I guess you can make Master Assassin a little bit more impactful and not only around the passive. This is the main reason why all of the teams here on the Asian server are taking it. But the quest itself is pretty garbo. So very rarely do you complete that. At least if you're playing on a competitive level. If you're, of course, playing Clown Fiesta in Quick Match or something like that, that's a bit of a different story, but that's not what we're here for. So, yeah. Then, again, to be fair, yesterday was completed once, but that was also more brawl than a competitive game, to be honest. So, for now, we got the single kill in the game in favor of Hacktopia. The 50 gems are ready for the red team, so they can try to make their play here and come in for it. Try to take that down. Blue team so far doesn't have enough, but, well, as I say, they pick up the last one, and now both of them have a chance to get the first web weavers connected. So, here we go. We currently have 7 kills in. Sorry, level 7 in. 7 kills would be a bit... That would be interesting. Trickery is there. And, well, the chance to maybe now go for it. Already our level 7 talents with the Will of Tehondrios. And we got the Melting Point. And yeah, it's all about the turn-in now. A couple of gems have already been delivered, but both of the teams, as I said earlier, are playing this as safe as they can. There's, of course, interrupt potential on both sides. A bit more so on the blue team, since they got Junkrat, who's amazing when it comes to that. Just getting those grenades in is just fantastic. Kirizaku down here. Oh, it's so close. Oh my god, nearly a kill against Malthael. Damn, he barely survived this one. Yeah, no one can stop death. Well, he just did. He was so close to dying, and I hit more or two, and it would have been the end of him. The grenade obviously pushed him back in. If the cooldown for that was still ready towards the end, he would have died for sure. Also, apparently no stun from Lockdown. And Lockdown, talking about him, is turning in now. So that's 37 gems delivered for the blue team. A bit more diligence, and they're going to be the first ones with a Web Weaver wave here. So, yeah. And, well, let's see. For now, there's the blue Web Weaver waves coming down, as expected. Alright, so, let's see what they can pull off here with the first wave. If they get the kill against Gonda, that would be even better. But he makes his way out of the fight and is so far mostly unharmed. Anna, of course, just with the pew pew pew, one heal dot after another, is keeping Gonda in play. Make sure that he doesn't even have to fall back here. But the Web Weavers are now coming in. And as Mephisto is still trying to whittle down the hit point pool of the blue team, they are setting up for the first real attack. At the top, we have Greymane immediately moving in. Anna finds herself very much isolated in the mid lane. There's no way she can really chip in a whole lot of defense. And yeah, Hack realized that too. He's like, yeah, I think I need some help, boys. So with level 10 abilities, very close. Both of them are now making a move. Top Web Weaver has already been defeated. Greymane is of course fantastic in that position. But down here, the fountain is gone and they're getting some serious damage onto the fort itself. So nice for them. Bottom of the map, similar picture though. Malthael took care of it. And here's the level 10 abilities for the two of them. Yeah, and that's of course where Odin kicks in. Odin, the main reason, or one of the reasons why we have Master Assassin taken by a lot of the Tigers players here in the tournament. Again, not all of them. We see variations on the build, but the passive, the extra attack speed is not only quite useful for him, but also triggers through Odin, and that's what we've seen pretty much consistently. Odin getting nano boost and everything. There's the Tormented Souls, as we expected in the draft already. They're going to try and get the nano boost on Malthael and then rip them to shreds, but Malthael is in trouble, and he has 31 gems. Lockdown wants him, but he just can't get him. Kirizaku, time and time again, is able to escape here. And as all of that happened, Greymane wasn't even in the fight. Greymane was sitting on the right side of the map, starting to go for the next bruiser camp, and he took it. So yeah, another nice move from them. Same time now, the next attack, Tigers down. This time there's the kill, and that's the second one for the red team. So good job. Yeah, red team lost and killed another hero. Blue team, do they lose Crow too? No, they don't. But now they're getting pressured here, and of course with 99 gems already in their hands, that's a big opportunity for Hacktopia to now get their own turn-in. And technically, they could even try to go for the double turn-in, obviously. So there's a chance for a double turn-in setup if they play their cards right. They also have elite in experience. If they get the early level 30, that would be even better. Frankel got attacked for just a moment as well. With 26 gems, they all need to be careful here. But there's the first Web Weaver wave for the team in red. So Hacktopia, after losing game number 1, are now starting to bring it back slowly. Yeah, definitely have some potential on this one. Down at the bottom of the map, already coming in. Lockdown is sitting here. Kirizaku, everybody is making their way over slowly. As the Web Weavers are coming in, you don't want to lose one of your heroes as you're waiting for the objective to touch ground. So it's a 5 versus 5, and already Malgan is up at the front. Is the entire time waiting for a chance to lock someone down so that they can get the kill in the easier defense. But ain't happening. So yeah, everybody is still looking pretty solid here. And at the bottom of the map, we are already looking at Malthael trying to help the Web Weavers out, but there's Odin popped in the mid lane right away from Relic on his Tychus to ensure that they're getting the defense set up properly. Junkrat has moved towards the top in the meantime and is making sure that everything is happening there, so also good for him. But they're about to lose Odin here. They gotta be careful. And Greymane comes in and he gets the kill and he wants the double as he's making a play for Crow. But he gets killed. Frankel and Crow, they tag team Greymane, and Greymane is down. And that is a fair amount of gems that just was lost. So yeah, that's a bit upsetting, honestly. That's a lot of gems that just went down the drain. And I'm not so certain that that was really worth it. I mean, don't get me wrong, you get the kill, so that's kind of neat, but at the same time, you lost how many? 20, 23 gems?
and that hurts a little bit. Your opponent has another opportunity for a turn-in, which is what we're going to see them fight over. Now, Ganis in the mid lane is also getting attacked a little bit as they're trying to set this up. But it's continuous back and forth right now. Level 13 talents are ready for both of the teams. That gives us, amongst other things, the Shard of Hate here. We have the inevitable end, of course, for Mal'Ganis. But yeah, it's getting a bit nasty at this point. And another kill attempt, this time against Mal'Ganis at the front. He gets saved by Stukov. But yes, the teams are definitely both now fighting for the next turn and for the next Web Weaver wave. And for a chance also to get a kill or two and maybe deny gems to the opponent's team. And they're both doing quite well here. I mean, it is a bit of a kill advantage for the red team, but if you're just checking on the experience, they're both at level 14. Tychus is the one that died 3 times, so they exclusively took Tychus down. Everybody else is still Gucci. 41 gems on Frankel, and he has to be very careful here as well. I mean, it is really a tricky one now. They are so incredibly close, and there's 80 gems in the hands of Hacktopia, 63 gems in the hands of the blue team, and just one Web Weaver wave and a kill or two could shift the balance insanely fast on this one. And they're trying to get those kills in against the frontline heroes that hold all the gems here. But the rotation is now coming in as everybody is going for the big team fight. And well, there we have it. Is that going to be the kill? Are they going to be able to get one? Kirisaku, of course, with the Tormented Soul, so he can't go for a last rights drop on someone. That's another one to keep in mind. 27 gems at least have been turned in, but those have been turned in for a long, long time now. So again, Lockdown gets attacked, Relic in the back, and that's kill number 4 against Tychus. Timeless, this time he moves out a little bit faster. The blue team, they got at least the turn in, but it seems that Mal'Ganis is also going to fall. Mal'Ganis down, the blue team, they have the objective, but they're missing out on 2 heroes. Big problem. And one of the biggest issues is really that Tychus is the one that is dying here the entire time. Every single death, with the exception of the last one that we saw against Mal'Ganis, was on Tychus' side. So Hacktopia stepped it up big time. They now have a level 16 talent advantage over the opponent. The objective, it should be the easiest defense of their life. They're trying to take Lockdown down, and they're gonna get him. That's another 16 gems that were just lost. Nicely done, great plays, and they are farming them. Stukov is dead, 7 kills to 1. As I said just a few seconds ago, this is escalating quickly now. The balance has been tipped heavily in favor of Hacktopia. Not only are they denying the value out of the objective here, but at the same time, they're now also in a spot where they are just doing fantastic on experience, kills, map control. They can even go for the boss at the top since 2 of the heroes are still dead. So another great setup for them. And this is nearly impossible for the Jellyfish Boys now. They are in real trouble because they won't be able to do anything about the boss. They shouldn't be, at least. Well, here comes the Riptire coming in. Boss gets taken. No problem there. Can they even pick up a kill? If they can pick up another kill, that would be a nightmare. There's only 1 fort that's down so far, but the situation isn't getting any better now, is it? Yeah, Malthael is rotating down. He has 49 gems by himself. That's an easy turn in. Only 6 more, and they're going to get another Web Weaver wave. The boss has to be dealt with, but at the same time, they're trying to stop the turn in. There's too many things to pay attention to. Junkrat is the only one trying to deal with the boss up at the top. And the situation is getting worse every second, since the bot lane is now also getting attacked. So that's another one. That's a huge problem. And over here, the attack still ongoing. It's at least 16 versus 16. I mean, that's the silver lining on the horizon. The Titan Grenade has now come in, so they can play around the extra, or the even talents. But the top fort has been destroyed. The bottom of the map is still getting pressured. And things are not getting any easier, since Gonda is now turning the gems in that they were missing to get the next Web Weaver wave. Now, they can defend on even talents. The top has taken a bit of damage, but not too much. But they also still triggered the aggro on the camp just before they completed the turn-in. So now they have Web Weavers and the objective pushing straight through the middle. Guys, I gotta say, they are looking really good now. Game number 1, they had a problem at the boss fight, but now they are bullying the Jellyfish Boys. Yeah, the Jellyfish Boys, they are... Oh, those! Stukov! Not like this. Gonda low, but Junkrat is dead too. Relic gets attacked again. Mei has fallen, but they recovered the gems, and there's 3 heroes dead on the side of the blue team. They are getting absolutely murdered here. It's nasty. It's real nasty. And there's so many gems in the hands of Hacktopia. They can get an easy turn in after this fight. And you look at experience, they're 2 levels ahead right now. The stats advantage is huge. They have an opportunity to pick up the level 20 talent and then bully them even further. Yeah, this is real tricky. Pretty much all of the keeps are gonna fall here, aren't they? Tychus is dead for another 15 seconds. Bot lane gets pressured. Keep in the mid lane, already down. Greymane ripping it apart. Shredding this thing. And there it is. Nick, oh, well, yeah, keep is down. Bottom of the map. This is the only lane where they still have a keep. But as I mentioned, there's another turn-in available in 10 seconds. The opportunity is there once again to turn in, and now of course they have the level 20 talent. So you're in a really bad spot when if you're playing for the Jellyfish boys. Do you try and prevent the turn-in from happening? Do you take a fight against level 20? Of course you don't. But what other option do you have? Your other option is you are letting them turn in, and then you still have to fight against the level 20 advantage. So this is pretty much checkmate. They need a kill, and they need it quickly. They're trying with the Riptire. It's a lot of damage, but it's not enough. Instead, we have Mal'Ganis dying. There's the kill against Imperius. Malthael is at least down, but they are hunting everyone. And that is an easy 3 kills. They go for Stukov, and they take him down too. And ladies and gentlemen, Frankel is about to die as well. And as they chase him down and drop Junkrat, the game is about to end. Big fight here, huge battle over the spot. Timeless gets attacked, but it doesn't matter anymore. This is going to be a victory for sure on the side of the red team as they are coming into core. They're taking down 15 kills to 3. Total blowout on map number 2 as Hacktopia ties the series, the best of 5, and we are heading into game number 3. The red team with a big W on Tomb of the Spider Queen, keeping it tense. Okay, game number 3. Towers of Doom is our map as we're heading into the 3rd map. And yeah, Hacktopia is back to business and made it a series. Not only did they come in and took the map, but they crushed. They absolutely crushed the Jellyfish boys. And it was, I mean, towards the end, they were farming them. And it was pretty impressive. At the beginning, it seemed that Tychus was a bit the weak point. So Relic had some serious trouble and got taken out multiple times, like 3 times in a row, and it really put them back. They lost control over the middle of the map, and then at some point there was just nothing that they could do anymore. But at this point we got Towers of Doom coming up. This is of course map number 3. We currently have Vala and Chromie banned out right away. Another big map where technically you could try to play around the global. Quick reminder that on Sky Temple, the blue team, especially during their macro advantage, was able to lock in the victory. But after what we just witnessed here on the 2nd map, Hacktopia, we knew that they are strong. Gonda in particular at the front line, super powerful. But the question is, of course, at least for me right now, was that a bit of a fluke? Is it just that the draft didn't work out for the blue team? Or was map number 1 just a wake-up call? Either way, now that we're heading into this, we have the ban on Malfurion again over here on the Asian server. This is pretty much the norm. Malfurion never really makes it into the games. And, well, we get Ana as another ban. No more nano boost. No more boosting Malthael. No more nano boosted Tormented Souls. No more nano boost on like a Tychus or on Mephisto. So, yeah, Tychus gets picked, of course, right away. Relic, by the way, still playing him here. Saying like, alright guys, I died enough on game number 1. I got all the deaths out of my system. Now, on the other hand, we're heading in for it. So, let's see what the counter picks are. Towers of Doom, again, it's all about trying to get that push power. Maybe an earlier Sylvanas this time. No, it's still Stukov and Mei. So, yeah, Gonda, he really likes his Mei. Stukov gets taken together with that. A lot of control if you're playing with the lurking arm here. If Sylvanas doesn't get picked, could see her banned again. Towers of Doom is of course another map where in the late game you can get a lot of momentum, so it's not really the early game that decides things here. But if you have Sylvanas in, that gets even more emphasized, because just a quick push and taking some of those bell towers down, convert them over, can allow you to just drop the opponent's points super quickly. But again, we get Lucio and we get Diablo. Alright. And Lucio can already be a bit nasty here. If you have the quick rotations between the lanes and can just like rotate around your opponent a bit, that's always kind of helpful. Then again, what's on the ban menu now? Do we get the Sylvanas ban? Yes or no? First of all, we have the Panda ban again. Every time I see a hero like Chen banned out, it's sad for me. A little piece of me dies inside because I realize this is what we could have had here. It's worse if the Vikings get banned, I'm gonna be honest. If you know that your opponent has a bit of a pocket pick and we don't get to see those pocket picks, it's always a bit of a sad Panda move. But anyways, last ban. Sylvanas, yes, no. What are we getting? Side laner. Malthael gets banned. Hogger and Sonya are both still up, both of them. And we could actually at least see one of them here for the top lane. One hero, by the way, that hasn't been played in this entire tournament, even though after or during the patch it had a bit of a rework, is Stitches. We've seen a lot more Stitches on the European side. European players were way more willing to experiment with him. But here on the Korean server, no Stitches players. No, they're not going for the big hook. Sonya gets taken, and there's our Greymane pick again. As mentioned, he is super high priority on the server here. That leaves us with the final choices for the Jellyfish boys. And, I mean, part of me just wants to see that Medivh pick, honestly. Diablo, Leyline, you know. That would be kind of neat. I think we had Medivh twice yesterday. 2 times. Not enough to necessarily justify him here, but there's Leo and Junkrat again. Alright, Frankel, ready for some mayhem, baby. And that leaves us with the final pick for game number 3. This is a best of 5 series, of course, so it doesn't end here, but one of the teams is going to take the advantage. And we're going to find out together who that is. It was a big play on the second map, a big power play by Hacktopia. Those guys definitely didn't screw around there. Easy win for them, and they made it very one-sided. If they can carry the momentum to game number 3, then it's going to be tough for the Jellyfish boys. Our last pick for the red team, it is Falstad. They're going for the birdie. Finally, a bit more global plays here in at the Fish Cup. So guys, let's go. Towers of Doom, everyone. Again, map number 3 between the Jellyfish boys and Hacktopia. Towers of Doom, our third map, lockdown for the blue team, is playing Leoric. We got Frankel on Junkrat, Hebali on Diablo, Crow on Lucio, and Relic again on Tychus. Didn't really go all that well for him on the second map. Now, of course, he has a chance to show that there was only a fluke and that he's not going to have any trouble here. On the right side of the map, Hacktopia with Gonda on May, Timeless on Greymane, Hack on Stukov, Taido on Falstad, and Kirizaku is playing Sonya. Okay, time to shine. Our brawl in the middle of the map is already being set up here. Heat transfer for May this time on level 1, the Soul Shield still for Diablo. And Junkrat is already attempting to isolate someone here. Couldn't really pull it off just yet. But let's see what they can do in the long run. Especially Falstad is going to be interesting. Now that the old Boomerang is baseline, you can of course go for Secret Weapon on level 7. And that helps you with structural damage a little bit more. Talking about Falstad, they are already going for the first potential kill, and Lockdown barely gets away. Now he doesn't fall, but still, this is putting a bit of a dent into his ambitions for the top lane. Early tap on the fountain, as you can see. Forced. Happening also for Kirizaku. But thanks to that little rotation of Falstad towards the top and the extra pressure against Leo, this is really great for Sonya. This is making the lane much easier for her. So the 1 versus 1, bit of an advantage for her now. So yeah, good for them. We get both of the teams immediately with a mercenary champion. Very safe rotation by Falstad. It's kind of interesting because the rest of the team wasn't all that diligent about it, and Gonda gets immediately attacked, nearly dies, but they cannot put the final hits in.
So May is able to get away and doesn't even Hearthstone back here. Both of the teams, of course, fully aware that if you're winning this one, then you have 2 match points. They're very, very eager to lock in a W on Towers of Doom. And there's the pressure play against Lockdown again up at the top. And this time he's very likely gonna die. Yeah, Kiri... Nah! Even with the speed, he can't get it. At the bottom of the map, the fight is also continuing. It's not... Oh my god! Timeless! Jeez! First, Leo gets barely away. Now this is happening. Now, Relic again goes for the same build that he already used on the last map. So that means Master Assassin as the level 4 choice on Tychus. Pretty much because you want to have the additional attack speed on Tychus. It's not so much about the quest, but more about the passive. Leo finally activates his trade up at the top side. Whereas down here, the entire wall has been opened up. So, yeah, really nicely done by the Jellyfish boys. If you're playing on Towers of Doom, your focus is, of course, on the bot lane. And generally the rule of thumb is, on any map that you play, the map that has the most mercenary camps travel through it is the map that will see the most play and the most pressure. Because you can always set up some additional damage in later and can maybe even go for a core push. Now, you can't go for a direct core push on Towers of Doom, but you can still try to get those mercenary camps, aka the pumpkins, to move through the lane and then put some extra damage onto the core. So the principle still applies here. Top left, top right, they're trying to go for the channel, but Leo is interrupting, so Sonya is forced to help force that out a little bit. And the first few shots are being fired. Sonya is still playing this out all the way up at the top, and the rest of the team is busy at the bottom of the map. And this is actually where we might see the advantage now coming through for Hacktopia. Sonya is definitely going to get the channel at the top. Fawcett could fly down if he wanted to, but look how low Lucio and Tychus already are. They are in trouble, and right now nobody's making a play for the altar yet, but here comes Lockdown, comes in with a mace to the face attempt. Greymane is dead though. Lucio with the kill. Everybody low for the Jellyfish boys, but they got the kill, and now they're starting to pressure them back. The early level 7 is another asset that they have, and Tychus is going for the channel and they're gonna get it. It looked tricky for a long time here for them. But they are the team to lock in the additional 4 shots against the opponent's core. And it just took Hacktopia a bit too long to get the level 7. Now we got Falstad as predicted with a secret weapon. We also got the poisoned spear in. No real surprises at this point. The Quicksilver bullet is ready. And we got the targeted excision. Both of the teams again with those pumpkins. And they are quite powerful if you want to push for the lane here. So if you can steal them away from your opponent, it's always a really nice move. But at least for now, none of the teams was able to make a play for that. So top side, that's where we still got locked. Spear is missing. Yes, of course, if you can dish the damage out against Leo, we can hit the skill shots there. You're going to be in a great spot, but down at the bottom of the map, that's where the real action is still going on. Forza is using his global as best as he can to help out Sonya at the top side and make it a very one-sided lane, but his ability to fly down and help the team out is going to become more crucial as the blue team is pushing over and over again. We're seeing it again here. So May is moving in to try and prevent the pumpkins from rushing in and taking that down. But at least a few of them connect. And Falstad is now the one that sits alone against Lockdown's Leo at the top. And Sonya is rotating into the middle to push the lane out there. Now it's still very close in experience what we are seeing between the two teams. But the question is more so who can go for the next objective, and when are we going to see a few more kills coming together? Can one of the teams build up a bit of momentum in that scenario or not? And right now, level 10 abilities, they're going to change the dynamic quickly. And talking about dynamic, there we got Greymane, and he gets murdered. Timeless doesn't stand a chance here. Really good engage from Diablo, and they just don't let the wolf get away. Now the top lane, that one gets pressured continuously by the red team. So that's where they have their biggest advantage. But here's the level 10 abilities. The altar gets channeled, there's another 4 shots fired. The Jellyfish boys very eager to prove that map number 2 was just a fluke, just a bad draft, just a bad game for them, and that they are the ones that will take this series eventually and move on to the grand final. But Falstad has now his gust available. Of course, the Entomb is ready, and there it is again. Sonya with a leap as usual. So yeah, Sonya on the leap, Stukov with a big shove, and May, Gonda, yeah. Gotta be careful here, especially since the control from Junkrat is definitely there. But the top side is actually... They're going for the bottom of the map right now, heavily. Oh, that was a good one. Can they still... I don't even think that he has to go for Odin here. I'm a little bit surprised that he does, honestly. Dibbles was more or less safe, so that cooldown, he was behind the gate. I'm not quite sure why they burned Odin in that situation. 2 stacks towards the Master Assassin for now. Top side, Falls that is still holding on to all of it. It gets a bit tricky here. Camps are taken time and time again by both of the teams. Nobody has yet invaded the other side and tried to get 2. But here's the double altar phase up at the top. Oh, even that is usually just an even exchange. Top left, top right. Nobody really wants to go that deep into enemy territory just yet. And we don't have a level 13 advantage for either one. They're still actually very, very close in XP here. The stacks are coming together for Falstad a little bit as he's sitting at 20. And they still have that play between the mid and the top lane. Junkrat is the one that helps Leo out the most now. But down here, they're getting pushed back again. And Relic is just eating damage. It allows the pumpkins to get through and get one of the towers down. But as expected, there's the double channel. One on the left, one on the right. Both of them just going for... Yeah, an easy channel. No invasion, nothing. But down here... Towers of Doom always feels like this tug of war, and at some point the balance is gonna break. And you're gonna get in real trouble. And then it's just a question of whether or not you can come back. And that's a great wall, but no follow-up. They don't have enough heroes here. And with Junkrat already appearing at the bottom of the map, they knew they couldn't do anything. Yeah, so Mei eats the trap. At level 13 soon. 32 points against 24 now. Sonya on the way back to the top. It is a pretty fragile balance between the two now. And Diablo continues the build setup. I mean, this is pretty much the same Diablo build that we've seen in every single game. I'm thinking about it right now, but I don't think we've seen a whole lot of deviation. I think 1 or 2 games in the quarterfinals he spotted a bit of a different build, but this has pretty much been the standard for most of the games so far. Virulent reaction in. We got the flurry. I could definitely do with the McFlurry, honestly. This is one of the things that I miss from HGC times as well. Main and I would always check out where the closest McDonald's is and then just always go for McFlurry. It's a good thing, no matter where you have events, there's always a McDonald's, and some of the McFlurries that they have are just absolutely fantastic. So the McFlurry times, I kind of miss it. Well, from McFlurry to barbecue, we got the double kill in. Holy hell! Easy 2 kills, and now Gonda gets murdered too. Yeah, that's 3 down, and that escalated quickly. Remember what I just said a second ago about the fragile balance in the game? Yeah, here we are. Have another look at this one. So first of all, here comes the engage. They get the barbecue set up against Stukov. He's the first one to fall, and then after that the kill on Greymane, plus the entomb that eventually ended up dropping Mei. So nicely done. That's a conversion on the bell tower at the bottom of the map, and they're now going also straight up for the pumpkin camp, and yeah, that's exactly that momentum swing. They're down to 19 points already. It's 5 kills to 1. Level 16 is very, very close now for the Jellyfish boys. They definitely have started to move that pain train over and towards Arctopia. So yeah, big one. I mean, for now, you look at the damage output. Yeah, they're getting pumpkins through the bottom of the map now as well, as they can try to take that. And lockdown, nah, they can't kill him. The whole goal of the red team is, of course, to stop the pumpkins from dropping additional damage points onto the core. But the level 16 talent is now so close that things are gonna become more tricky. Yeah, 16 talent advantage for more than a level. The only one that died so far is Leoric. You can always argue that he's just activating a straight. So, Royal Focus, debilitating flames, up the frequency, and the Titan Grenade. Dibbles here in the middle. Not a Space Lord Leoric fan. Not really a fan. I don't know. The Ice Giant is just best. If you go for the Ice Giant setup, it's just way better. It was one of those skins that they released at the beginning where I was just like, nah, really? I don't really see it. It's one of those skins where I'm just like, no. If you go for the Janitor, I totally get it. If you go for the Ice Giants, I get it too. This one doesn't do anything for me. Alright, so 16 is nearly ready for the red team, so then they can fight again. Uh-oh, Gonda! No! That's a kill. Mei is down. Sonya leaps out, and Falstead is already working on the first altar. This is a triple altar. They could win the game here. Just imagine them getting all 3 altars in the boss. All 3 altars in boss in that situation would end the game. Now, that is unlikely to happen, but there's a chance that we're going to see it. So here's our 2 versus 2. First 5 shots are already fired. Now they're making the way up to the top. Falstead moved out. There's the Gust, okay. Entomb and follow-up. Do not lead to a kill yet, but since Mei is still not there, there's a chance that they're getting all of them. They're pushing them back with Odin. Yeah, they're channeling. Lockdown is there. They're gonna get this one. That's another 5 shots fired, and now all they gotta do is fall to the left side of the map, claim this one, and the opponent will be down to 4 points on the core. And that's either boss or another altar. That's a problem. Especially if you are able to get your level 20 before your opponent does, then you can force the fight around the boss with no issues. Hacktopia, they are with the back to the wall now. And they are dangerous at this point, because they will be looking for fights before level 20 is available for the Jellyfish Boys. They have to. There's nothing else that they can do. You gotta force the fights right now while you still have a fighting chance. Yeah, Ice Wall is in. Yeah, Ice Wall coming up, baby, but it's a little bit too late, so not like this. Instead, they're trying to turn it around again. They retook the bell tower, but of course that doesn't mean anything, because it still is 4 bell towers in the hands of the Jellyfish Boys. 1 altar channel is gonna end it. And yeah, Hacktopia is in trouble. They are in a lot of trouble right now. Leo at the top is pushing this out a little bit further. 100,000 siege damage for him. 6-digit club on siege. Not quite as exclusive as the 6-digit club for hero damage, but hell, you take what you can get. Alright. A little bit more than 1.5 levels, and then we get the level 20 talents. If they can at least get 1 bell tower, that would mean a lot. The problem is also that we have now 2 altars coming up. They have to win both in order to not lose the game. Yeah, they're trying to come in with a leap, alright. Greymane in trouble, but a kill against the kill. Greymane and Lucio are both dead. The Ice Wall again missing. They're trying to go for Gonda, and they're moving in for Stukov. The Gust is saving them. Falstead, he was very much so needed in that situation, because if not for him, Stukov would be dead too, and that's something that they just can't afford. The altars are up. Now they can try and sneak a channel in. Sonya is already channeling the top. Are they going to move down? They're going for Stukov first. The mace to the face. Stukov with a grenade, and that is the end of Stukov. It might be the end of the game too. Sonya has not completed the channel in the middle. Relic is forcing their hand. Sonya is coming in from behind, and so is Gonda. They're diving in deep for the potential kills, yeah, and they need to. But the volley is coming in as well. Tychus, he's dead. Tychus is dead. The birdie gets away, and the rest of the team down here is still playing it out. They leave! And no! Frankel goes down, but so does Sonya. Junkrat is dead. Everybody's dead and dying. Gonda, Greymane, Timeless. Here's the kill against Mei. And that just has to be it, right? Crow was trying to channel in the middle, but couldn't get that done either. Now they're trying at the bottom of the map again. All over the map. They're just attempting to put additional pressure on the level 20 talents already so close. Leo is about to go down, but he drops the Entomb again. A bit more of experience, and the Storm Talents are going to be ready. Once more, we're waiting for the rest of the team to come back. It's a 3 versus 3 at this point in time, but both of the teams have their support now. Leo goes down. He's going to be back soon, though. And here comes the channel in the mid lane as Stukov is trying to prolong the game a little bit further, reducing this entire battle to a single altar at the bottom of the map. One more. And Taido, he gets interrupted. He gets interrupted, and Lockdown is soon going to be back. But here's the level 20. Level 20 is ready. Tychus is now on the move, but I'm not sure if he's going to be back in time. The interrupt! Yes, Dibbles! And he gets focused, and he doesn't get the kill. Leo is going to be back in just a moment, though. Leo might be back, and he has the Buried Alive. Is he going to drop it right away? No. And Diablo, he'll be back to business, too. He was fully stacked on souls. And Crow with the channel down here. They are forced to fight into Odin. They're forced to fight into Odin, and you never want to be in that spot. Another big hit coming. Lucio over and over again with the channel. Level 20 talents on both sides. Timeless gets murdered. Goes down, and that is game, ladies and gentlemen. They got the channel, they get the hits, and that is a 2-1 lead for the Jellyfish Boys. Game number 4, Aldrich Pass. Let's go, everyone. We have a 2-1 lead for the Jellyfish Boys. I gotta admit that lately, every single time I'm going over that name in my head, it's just like the Jellyfish Beans. So, either way, they have the lead in the series. It's a 2-1. We're in the semifinal of the Korean tournament. There's in total $2,500 on the line, of course, for all of it. So, let's go and see what the red team can pull off. We started all of this with a victory on the first map for the blue team, and then heading into game number 2, Tomb of the Spider Queen, Hacktopia came out swinging. I mean, these guys were crushing the opponent's team. So it's pretty cool to see all of that coming through now, with the blue team saying like, nah, that was a fluke. Game number 2, that was a fluke, that was just not ours. We'll still put our foot down in game number 3 and take the lead here, and that's exactly what they're doing now. Then again, on the upcoming map now, maybe a chance for Hacktopia to bring it back and bring us the full distance. I mean, 4 maps are guaranteed. I wouldn't mind if we're going to the final map as well, though. So Ana gets banned out, so does Lucio. And, I mean, this is a big map, so the potential Falstad pick is definitely still there. Falstad, he won 1 game, he lost 1 game so far in this series. When it comes to bans, Greyman is this time getting banned. Yeah, we talked about the increased priority for him. He was absolutely crazy in all of the games previously. Even in the quarterfinals, he saw an enormous amount of picks, but now they're banning him out. And of course, puts into question immediately what's happening around Tychus. Are we going to see him early on again? Are they maybe even thinking about banning him? Malfurion hasn't been banned yet either. And Malfurion, yeah, there he is. Okay. Yeah, the Korean meta is centering a lot around Malfurion bans. We've seen him only picked once, and he was picked in the first pick position right away. The one time that he didn't get banned, insta-pick. And yeah, with that, they also were able to lock in a victory. So there's that. It's always kind of funny to see just like the different metas collide. Well, we're not going to see them collide. It's China and Korea that plays over here. The meta is still very, very similar. When it comes to pick patterns, here's the early Tychus pick again, as we've seen now multiple times throughout the last couple of days. But yeah, when you're thinking all of this through, one of the big ones is of course now the question of can we maybe even get a little bit of Sylvanas in? She's not been banned. Normally she is getting hit on the 3rd ban. Could see also a couple of players around, maybe even Vala. Not quite the priority on her that we're seeing in the European scene yet either, but there she is, an early pick for Relic this time, together with Stukov, who's still one of the most popular supports, I want to say. To be fair, now we have Ana and Lucio both banned, and Malfurion, so that reduces the pool a little bit, but even if that's not, or when that's not the case, Stukov is an early pick. Now Gonda gets his Diablo, and that gets me excited, because he just bullied people with Diablo yesterday, and just his tank plays in general are super sexy. Sonya's coming in together with that, but yep. It would be kind of nice if we still had, like, you know, some potential offline events when you can play, like, the West against the East and you can just simply see the metas collide. These days, that's not really possible. For the Korean scene, it's also a little bit sad that there's not as much competition going on anymore over there in Korea with Heroes of the Storm as we have, let's say, in Europe. I mean, even NA now has a bit more thanks to the CCL. Europe, of course, has a lot more competition just in general, where the players can still measure each other's strength and also have those small rivalries going on. It's not quite the same anymore. Well, obviously not the same anymore as back in the days of HGC or even before HGC. But Korea has suffered a little bit with the lack of tournaments, which is one of the reasons why the Fish Cup over here is currently very much appreciated. And at that note, again, a big shout out to Fish. The entire time I thought that it was like a company or something, and I had one guy in my channel and he was just he had Fish as his tag at the beginning or something, and it was just like, oh my god, he must be working for the company. And I've been asking him initially like, hey, so what do you guys do, like, can I plug anything? And he was just like, oh no, it's just me. And I totally didn't understand that he as a private person sponsored the tournament, and I was just blanking on it. So yeah, I'm not quite sure if he's ever going to see or hear that, but of course big shout out to him, because making that possible and the Korean players having a chance to participate in an event like this is amazing. Also big shout out to Hyde, who's organizing this entire thing, so he's the host and is also running the Korean cast, which is one of the reasons why you don't see him here play in person. But now with the bans on Chen, they just hate the panda, don't they? Over and over again, the panda ban. Medivh has been taken away so that Diablo can't go from Leyline into Apocalypse. Zul and Mei both taken. And here's Tracer again, okay.
Aldrich pass with a Tracer pick. Vala already prepping for the Gloom pick on level 13. And our last pick for Frankel. The chance for the blue team to end the series with a 3-1 victory and move on to the grand final against Kyoja's team is right here. Aldrich pass, the final map. No global so far. Are we going to get the birdie? We get the birdie. Falstad is in. Let's go, everybody. Map number 4, Aldrich pass. Aldrich Pass, our 4th and maybe last map in the series. On the left side, Frankel on Falstad. We got Lockdown on Zul, Crow on Stukov, Relic on Vala, and May is played by Heberli. On the right side of the map, we currently got Gonda on Diablo, we got Hack on Karazim, Timeless heading straight into the Parting Gift as his level 1 talent, playing Tracer, Kirizaku on Sonya, and Taidao on Tychus. Every game, our Tychus picks. Honestly, Jimmy is a little bit of a sad one right now. He's pulling a big sad because he just doesn't see any play. Europe, it's pretty much the opposite. Jimmy is played more than Tychus. I mean, with the reworks and everything, things change slightly. But Jimmy is played a lot more. Over here in Korea, nobody gives a fuck about Jimmy. This is like, Jimmy who? What are you talking about? We only know one guy, and that's this guy right here. He's just way better. So yeah, nobody cares about Jimmy. It's a little bit sad, but well, that is. First, Kerrigan didn't care about him. Now the Koreans don't care about him. This just makes him a sad panda. I don't know. Falstad at the top is soloing it against Sonya. Bottom of the map, we already got Timeless in. Ooh, and Lockdown. And I'm gonna try and attack him here, but he's getting an easy assist from Stukov and May. And Gonda needs to be careful that he's not all of a sudden the target of the push and the gank. But yeah, a bit more of aggressive opening into all of this. Now once again, we currently have the stacks coming in for Vala with a fire at will. She's going to try and get as much out of this as she probably can. And yeah, what do we get? Camps, of course, taken. I mean, 1 minute mark, camps are spawning, and this one is pretty important for the map. Wonder why they're going for the first objective, when that's gonna happen. Zul coming in with a Shade on level 1. We got the heat transfer on May once again. Yeah, and I have my eyes on Timeless. I want to see what Tracer can do in this game. If she can dive in, maybe take Vala down later, put some pressure onto Falstad, of course, too. That's the other one that they have to be careful about. And in the middle of the map, they're also making the next move. Crow gets attacked. Yeah, Gonda getting pushed back too, and it's just all control over the bridge. First of all, we got Stukov with the lurking arm. We got May also with the extra slow. And here come the level 4 talents slowly for the teams. But the pressure is definitely on. The blue team, they are eager to end it right here, right now. And, well, Relic. Oh, that's a kill. Yes, Relic goes down. Yeah, Relic has a tough time. He had a tough time, especially on the Tomb of the Spider Queen. Right here, early kill against him. Now, as time continues, he's going to get a couple of tools that will help him with survivability. But as the 1 versus 1 battle here continues, the blue team was at least able to get the counter kill in. So Tracer, she didn't get away after she was able to take Vala down. So Timeless, he got the kill, but he sacrificed his own life for it. 9 stacks so far for Vala. So she got a couple here. And off we go. Down the bottom of the map, Gonda, Taidao, they're coming in. First objective is up, but again, normally we don't see a big move made for it until we have level 7 roughly in play. Sometimes even as late as level 10. Diablo and May already just bullying each other the entire time. And Frankel at the top, playing it with the hammer gains. As long as you have Falstad on the side lane, you want to have a bit of self-sustain, and that's where hammer gains really shines. So slowly but steadily, you're just in a position where you can get additional sustain, keep yourself on the one-on-one lane without any need for assistance and without just continuously having to tap the fountain. So that's exactly what they need from this one. And yeah, down at the bottom of... I mean, it's a little bit of a slower pace right now. Falstad is still getting some damage in against Sonya up at the top. I don't really think there's too much happening here. Vala with a hot pursuit. Obviously, Secret Weapon is now in. So they're pretty much going through the motions with both of the teams showing the respect that they deserve here. Well, let's see what else. Because in the middle of the map, the fights are slowly starting to heat up a little bit. Vala is getting the stacks in. And everybody is trying to also split out a little bit. But that was a nice hit. That's 15 stacks in total for her.
So if the game lasts long on this one, Vala is going to wreck later on. And Timeless, he's one of the players that will have to try and die for her. Now, of course, if you ever make it to level 20, it's going to be absolutely insane. The range that Vala has just in general. The new Farflight Quiver is incredible if you can keep your hatred stacks up. And that's something that we're going to see Relic try to do throughout the entire thing. But he's just stacking. He's just getting those shots in. And multi-shot later on is going to be heavily important. There's so many choke point scenarios where you can hit multiple heroes with it. If you are playing your cards right here in that late game, you can just crush. And he's sitting at 19. Relic is definitely out there right now. Yeah, and he's doing work with this, honestly. And if Gonda is just like sitting tight, he's going to give them opportunities to stack time and time again. One of the interesting things also, as we're talking a bit about meta, is that I haven't seen a single arrow build on Vala yet since we started this tournament. European scene likes to play it on Battlefield of Eternity, but even outside of Battlefield, an arrow build, even after Vala's rework, has not been that uncommon. Has been played multiple times there. Helps you a lot with the endless stacking on the level 1. Monster Hunter still kicking in. Even a couple of variations have been played right now with the level 7 talent, so it's not just one build that gets played with arrow. And over here you don't see any of it. Frankel in the meantime wants to get the kill. Yes, and there it is. Nice. That's how you get some value. He knew he would die, and then he just said, okay, I can't get out, but I might be able to get the counter kill. So he goes in, takes Sonya down. And that was awesome. That was absolutely awesome. Very, very quick thinking on his part. Sees an opportunity, realizes he won't be able to get away, and just goes for the kill instead. So it ends up being a trade. Timeless. Oh, that's a problem. And yeah, he makes it. He makes it through the recall and everything. Now we got the pulse rounds again on level 10. Leap is in and Dibbles. Oof, very early lightning breath here. That was a get the hell out of the team fight setup. We have level 10 abilities and nobody has made a real move for the prisoner camp yet. Nobody cares. Nobody cares of those prisoners. At least not until now. Leap, of course, is a problem for Vala there in the back line. She has a bit of a stun available for herself too. Falstead and Vala both need to be careful. And the birdie will have to use his gust in defensive measures, as we just see here at the top. So Frankel had to gust them away, nearly died as Tracer was jumping in together with Sonya. And that's 2 cooldowns that were just burned. So both went for the ult to get the bird, but that was a really nice move. I mean, Frankel surviving is huge, honestly. So that's a lot of tools that they just burned down, and they couldn't get the kill regardless. Now at the same time, we have a bit of a play for the objective at least. 2 kills to 2. But Vala is sitting at 29 stacks. I have a bit of a weak spot, I gotta admit, for all of these endless stacking talents that we're seeing. It's kinda crazy. It's honestly a little bit crazy what you can do if you properly stack in the early game and if the game goes long. If we're having like a 25-minute game and you can get some serious damage out of those, the late game is pretty nasty. And for heroes like Tracer, it's also a bit of an issue. 17,000 damage on Relic's Vala already illustrate at least a little bit what I'm talking about here, so that's already a pretty decent amount. But yeah, of course you want to burn that down as much as you can. And here he gets another 2. So hit after hit after hit after hit. Whereas Frankel is pushing the top side even further, trying to put the secret weapon on level 7 to some good use and get the structural damage in. Yeah, and Vala, I mean, for now, what do we have? 33 stacks for her. So the damage increase here. Ooh, 7-sided. Lockdown. Vala with a stun. The ice wall is out too. They kill Lockdown, but they're losing Karasim and they might lose more. Yeah, Sonya jumped in against Crow. Here they're still playing it out with Gloom now taken. And it seems like Stukov is giving as much as he gets. He's going straight in for Sonya and she's dead. Yeah, the man with the big arm here. One slap after another. Good for him. 4 kills to 3 and an early level 13 talent. The Jellyfish boys, they are starting things off very well here. Vala is nearly at 160 extra damage now on her level 1. So yeah, those numbers, they start to really add up for her. Good damage output, especially on the AoE. That's a potential kill against Timeless. The slide, the bomb on Frankel. They're saving Tracer for now, but it seems like May... Oh, the trade! And Stukov helping out with the lurking arm, shutting down the choke point. Gonda instead dies, loses all of his soul stacks. nearly an objective for the Jellyfish boys. Yeah, the game was a bit tame until now, but all of a sudden the momentum just swings heavily. So yeah, nice setup here. Gotta say, it's a fun one. Good kills. 5 in total for the blue team. They're a bit ahead on experience. Nothing too insane. But Lockdown, of course, has all the push power in the world. He already showcased that a bit earlier when we played Sky Temple. And just the macro pressure that you have by facing off against a character that can so consistently push these lanes out and always forces you to respond in kind can be real tricky. Now they're rotating around them a little bit. And up at the top side, yeah, there it is. There we have now the attack against the fort once again. And down to the bottom of the map, well, there we go. 5 kills to 3, a level ahead for the Jellyfish boys. So they're looking good here. And Timeless is still trying to get these kills against Fawcett. I mean, I really like the way that he's continuously pressuring them. And as we already had in the times of HGC, heroes like Poik, oh, careful, Crow. They are all surviving? Nah, there's the kill. Stukov down, but Karasim dies too. Easily obliterated. Kill for a kill as both of the supports are gonzo. What I was just about to say, Poik and other Tracer players back in the day of HGC, they always said that if you're playing Tracer, you don't want to save your bomb to get a kill. You always want to get consistent damage out, pressure the opponent, and really keep them on their toes. And that's exactly what Timeless is trying to do against Frankel over and over and over again. Now, over here, we have a few more attacks coming in as Gonda gets attacked too. 56 stacks by now for Vala. That's some serious damage. I mean, we're talking about, like, at this point, we're talking about 220 extra damage that she gets with every single multi-shot setup. And on level 60 now, we got Punishment, so if you have your Hatred stacks together, you get even more multi-shots. And this is just about as good as it gets. Yeah, there's another hit, that one connected too. We're looking at 58 right now. And that is pretty solid. Yeah. Pretty good. Alright, so with all of that, we got level 16 talents against level 15, so the advantage is there, and that finally leads to the first objective being claimed. The Jellyfish boys, they lock it in, they're getting it, and the main question is simply how much damage can they do. But you look at the lanes, and they've already been able to damage every single lane. That wave clear, it adds up. It's good rotational play that we're seeing from the blue team. And Hacktopia, they have problems. They have real trouble dealing with all of this. That's the biggest issue. So for now, they're pushing straight through the middle, but the auxiliary lanes, the top, the bottom, they are going to suffer losses on the forts 100% pretty much. I mean, Tracer is trying down here, but she will have to abandon that. Just help the team out in the middle. They're leaping to the back line. And the Ice Wall being used right away. The Gust is good, and they're isolating Sonya completely. But Kirizaku is still alive. Everybody is low on the red team, though. That includes Tracer as she gets attacked. And Relic with another hit. 63 stacks for Vala. Looking real good on the stacking process. Trying another one. But not getting the kill. Now, as expected, both of the forts have fallen. So top and bot lane, they are both gone. In the middle, they still hold on to one. More stacks for Vala. She is getting out of this world right now. Tracer, she gets murdered. She at least came in and got some solid damage against Zul, which led to Tychus being able to get the kill. But we have 65 stacks now for Vala, and this, of course, is translating into more and more damage. We have her at 48,000, and that, again, the damage output is just getting nasty. Guys, we're 13 minutes into the game. It's not we're, like, at the 20-minute mark or anything like this. No, we're 13 minutes in. If this goes another 10 minutes and she is able to keep that amount of stacking, that progress on her level 1, can you imagine what kind of damage output we're going to be looking at for her? If she gets multiple hits in during all of this, it's just crazy. I mean, either way, Tychus is delivering too. He hasn't fallen yet, so Mei and Tychus, they're the two heroes that have not died even once. But at least up to now, Hacktopia hasn't really gotten any control of the game. They've been on the receiving end. They're a bit behind in kills, they're a bit behind in experience, they're behind in structures. Yeah, Gonda was hoping that he gets the lock on someone, but that's not the case. Prison gets used, but of course we have the triple cleanse thanks to the level 16 talent for Karasim. So the cleansing touch is ready. Baseline quest is also completed for Diablo, so it increases the hit point pool a little bit more. We have Tracer down at the bottom of the map. Timeless is sitting there. Sonya's at the top. Next objective is up again. And technically the Jellyfish Boys could try and play around level 20. They're a bit ahead, so they don't have to force anything here. Talking about forcing things, Gonda? Nah. Doesn't make the engage. But the boss is getting attacked now at the bottom. And Tracer is checking it out. Tracer is checking it, and she's checking it a bit too early for comfort. So the Jellyfish Boys, they just say, wait, we are not going to go for that. It's fine. If you sniff it out this early, then yeah, we'll let it slide and pass because we don't want to fight for this. If we can sneak it in, that's a different story, but nothing else. The 1 versus 1. Timeless wants the chicken. Timeless is hungry. He wants the chicken, but I don't think he can get it here. Now, the attack is still continuing. Relic is now moving in. Crow is also sitting tight. 19 to 19, and they play for level 20. They want the Storm Talons here. Now Frankel, yeah, he gets some easy damage against Tracer and forces her back, but he also needs to be careful and likely to barrel away here because Gonda is coming in from the top. But the Storm Talons, they will give especially Vala very likely the extra range with the Farflight Quiver. And that just makes Relic so much safer. Not that he was under a lot of pressure in the first place, but this is going to make it even easier for him. And yep, there it is. The Farflight Quiver, the extra range. If you have your Hatred stacks together, this is just insane. Farflight Quiver was already a fantastic talent before that, but now it is so much better. So yeah, the shots keep coming. Falstad gets attacked by Timeless down at the bottom. They go toe-to-toe here. And oh boy, is that the kill? Yeah, the Gust, the Wind Tunnel. Nope, that is a win. Leap into the back line. Here comes the Ice Wall again. And I kind of like how they're actually using the Ice Wall. Instead of trying to catch the opponent, you just put the Ice Wall on themselves so that if anyone follows and is able to close the gap, the Ice Wall would stop them. Yeah, nicely done. Okay, so we already have the plays here. And there's a bit more stacking happening for Vala. Level 20 talent for Tracer gives us a total recall. Arnie would be proud. And Vala is able to stack even further here. That's another 3 hits. 82. 82. 320 extra damage on those shots. Now they're still down 1 player. It's a 5 versus 4 for now. Vala is sitting at 62,000 damage. And yep, she is getting more and more and more, but the objective is becoming a problem, and Falstad will have to fly towards the top if he wants to help out here. Because it's not going to take too much longer for the team in red to lock in the prisoners here, to lock in the raiders. Now, there's the channel to the minions, and they reclaim it. Falstad is also moving straight up for the camp instead of joining up with the rest of the team, and is taking this one first. 48,000 damage for Jimmy, 63,000 for Vala. And they're going for the counterplay up here. Yeah, another hit connecting. And they're doing what they can. I mean, right now, it's all about the objective. It's all about trying to get the additional pressure in. Bosses haven't been taken even once in this game. 7 kills to 6. Lockdown. Careful. Alright, there's the move with the 7-sided strike. And he eats all the damage. Nicely done, but they keep... Nah, he dies. They were so close to keeping him alive. But it's again the Diablo setup that is a bit too powerful. Lightning Brass for the win right here. 18 minutes into the game. 91 stacks for Vala. But this time it seems that Hacktopia is going to deliver and gets the objective. And what does the blue team do? Well, they move down to the bottom of the map and say, okay, it's time to get that boss. Now, Timeless is moving in and so is Gonda, but not everybody on the red team side is rotating down here. And I don't think they can get this one. They can try, but it's unlikely. They are eating so much dirt here. The entire team isn't there yet. Vala is getting hit after hit out, but they gotta move back. They get the boss though, and that's all that really matters here at the end of the day. No kill for the red team. Yeah, another shot from Vala. And, well, of course, we now have the cavalry moving in, but they need to deal with the boss at the bottom of the map too, so that buys a bit of extra time. Zul is there as well. Vala nearly at 100 stacks now. 78,000 damage for her. Damage output is just getting crazy. But the late kills, lately, they were all in favor of Hacktopia. So they got the 2 important kills. First Raider is down. One at the bottom of the map is still moving in. Up at the top, they need to deal with this one too. Boss has been eliminated, but again, bought them a little bit of time.
to at least deal with one. Seems like they're abandoning the bot lane in favor of the top side. Which is where we still have a boss. One of the reasons, I suppose. Yeah, and Tracer already trying to jump in for this one. And so is the rest of the team. But they might have overplayed their hand here. Gonda... the ice wall doesn't hit. But they take the Raider down. Raider's eliminated. And only this one is still active. And even this one doesn't do as much work as you think it would. Even if they get the fort. 20 minutes in? Is that really it? I mean, I don't know. So yeah, Zul slicing, dicing with a scythe, and he takes the Raider down. Not even a single fort has fallen. That counter play with the boss was just perfect for them. Not one single fort has been eliminated. Yeah, Relic playing for this one. Easy peasy now. Yeah, taking the camp here. This is gonna last a long time. We're 20 minutes in and we still haven't seen a single keep fall. It's game number 4. The red team is of course very cautious. They want to force game number 5. The blue team, they have all the opportunities to get this locked in with a 3-1 victory. But lately they've been losing the team fights. It was always only one kill, just barely the lightning breath of Diablo nibbling someone down. But here it is again. The fight in the middle. Vala always with the multi-shot, just carpeting the entire area with multi-shot hits. But she's staying back a lot, and a lot of those multi-shots do not connect. And of course you don't want to over-chase here. If you go a bit too deep and Diablo gets a hold of you, that's it, that's that. So yeah, that's another one. But either way, the bot lane that is moving up here is also going to be a bit of a concern. I mean, eventually that pressure play is going to become a problem. And it's only one team that has lost forts so far. Hacktopia has lost structures, and the Jellyfish Boys, they haven't. So a bit more of an attack against Gonda. Can they go for that again? They're trying. Vala is coming in and clears the waves. I mean, she is clearing waves so quickly now. Yeah, up at the top, they were trying to go for Tracer, but they couldn't quite. Gotta move the rest of the team away. Sonya isn't here yet either. Mid lane gets attacked, so that fort is about to be lost if Sonya doesn't stay and take it down. And yeah, it's just like the enormous pressure that comes through the minion waves alone already. 7 kills to 7. One boss up on the map. Objective at the bot lane. Damage output 88,000 for Vala. 64,000 for Tychus. And they're trying to play for the objective. Tracer sees what's happening topside, and she is calling it, but she might be a little bit too late on this one. Yeah, Relic, if he gets another few hits in, yeah, multi-shot is there, and they take the boss. They take the boss, but can they survive the fight? That's the bigger question. Timeless is in trouble and has to go for the recall. They leap! Vala down, falls that down, the boss gets taken, but they lose too much. Great hits, and now the kill against Stukov. Uh-oh, they might just have thrown the game. Time was working in their favor, but of course they have the forts still standing, so it's going to take too much time for the Jellyfish Boys to move through fort and keep towards the core. They can't end it here, but they can go for the objective. Vala is sitting at 105 stacks now in total, but she is dead. And topside, yeah, Timeless, he tries to protect the keep as best as he can. It's going to take some damage. We're 22 minutes into the game, so the boss is definitely hurting. But I'm not sure if it's enough to take down the keep right now. It's definitely going to chunk it down pretty heavily. But the objective, that's a different story. Objective is a very different story. So I guess the keep is barely going to survive. As you can see, bottom of the map also, the entire wall is opened up and the keep has taken damage. And they're trying to buy themselves a little bit more time, but I don't think they really can. Falset is back, Vala is back. Stukov is about to reappear on the map, but can they really stop this with only 16 seconds left until the objective is channeled through? I doubt it. 7-sided strike. Here comes the Mighty Gust again. The ice wall is into Zul. Slice and dice, and Tychus is down. Tychus is down. The leap. But they get the objective. The Raiders are incoming once again, but with another kill, they can negate that thing pretty much completely, and they might get 2. They go for Sonya, and they go for Gonda, and they get both of them.
Double kill. Diablo will be back, but that was the big one, everybody. That was the big defense right here. Check that one out. I mean, first they move in, they get the kill against Sonya as Falstad barrels forward, and then they isolate Diablo too. With those 2 kills, they have the chance now. Of course, initially they were able to take down Tychus, so that's 3 that are technically dead, but Diablo is back. And now the opportunity to go through the top lane maybe for the keep. They should be able to take the keep down. If they just get anyone in. I mean, come on, boys. There's like nothing left here. But they also don't want to engage into the fight too hard. 24 minutes in. What a game. Both fighting for this map. It's so important. The blue team, they have a chance for victory. The red team, they can force game number 5. Hacktopia trying to tie the series once again. Bot lane gets attacked. The Raider is about to be taken down. The first fort has finally fallen on the side of the Jellyfish boys. And they are still holding on to that. What a game. What a game. Nobody wants to just give up on the chance here. And look how much damage Relic does by now. I mean, it's 100,000 damage against heroes. Join the 6-digit club. The first one on the 6-digit club. Only one that hasn't died yet is Mei. Now Sonya goes for the camp. The rest of the team is just double checking what's happening around the boss. And they just miss each other down here. They barely miss each other. The birdie is in the middle. And the blue team, they're showing at the bot lane. They're not going for the boss right away. They're going for the bot lane instead. But now Falsa is flying in. They're trying to take this one. They're going for the play again. Oh, that might backfire. Sonya is on the way. Oh my god. They are really risking this. Damn, son. Falstad has the Gust. Here comes Odin. Mighty Gust is out. They take the boss. No! No! They might not be able to take it. They're trying. They're trying. They're on the point. Kirisaku is so low. What a fight. Falstad down. Sonya down. Stukov down. The boss taken by the blue team. Not stolen away. Lockdown dies. Vala dies. Only Mei is still alive. The boss on the move. 26 minutes in. And again, it's only Mei that makes it out of the fight. They can't do anything. They have to defend against the boss. Top side, the keep is falling. What is happening in this game? I mean, seriously, what's going on here? It's all around the objective again. They're gonna make another play for the prisoner camp here. Mei is going to try to delay it as much as possible. The boss down at the bottom is also doing a ton of work against the keep. But of course they're losing more and more ground. It's 113 stacks that we now have for Vala. But if she dies in these fights, that's not going to help her at all. Now, the topside pressure is on. But it's just not enough. Only a single armor shield has been removed. And Mei can't do anything by her lonesome. Now, Falstad is back, and this time they have a lot more time. This time that's still 39, 38 seconds. So now with Tigers showing at the bottom of the map, they can definitely play it back here. They can force them back and reclaim the position around it. Not going to be a problem for them. So it's not going to be an objective just yet for Hacktopia. Honestly, I guess at the end of the day, even with them dying, it was worth it. It's 11 kills against 14, but the top keep has fallen. The bottom keep has taken a lot of damage. So I call worth. It's a weird situation to be in, but it's kind of worth it. Gust is used right away. Gonda tries to make the play. Zul has taken the camp on the left side. And Vala is still just pushing them back with one hit after another. Yeah, and the bot lane is under pressure. Top lane is under pressure. I've seen this before. Alright, they go to the top and they just check the boss. They're not going for it just yet. But oh my god, over and over again. What's happening here? They're going for the Chinese bush meta right now. It's a trap! But nobody's falling for it. Quest is completed for Diablo. What a game. What a game. 83,000 damage for Tigers now. Vala is 30,000 damage ahead of him. Look at the heals. 122,000. And they go for the boss again. Tigers is in the middle. Tigers is showing on mid lane. Two are showing on mid lane. They know what's happening. I've seen his movie before. I've seen this. Gonda is sitting tight. He pushes in.
one. Here comes Sonya. The boss is taken. And this one is going to make it towards the core. The keep is already down. This is the third or fourth boss that they're taking, but Vala is dead. They go for the bird. They're trying to take him down too, and Frankel moves away. But it's Stukov that's going to fall next. The Tracer kill is so important. Tracer is down. Zul is able to get the kill against Tracer. Crow is buying a little bit more time. Gonda, they're still fighting, and they're going for Gonda. This has to be game. This just simply has to be it. Diablo loses the stacks. He lost everything. All the souls are gone, and now the move for the core right here. Tychus is losing Odin. The third time's the charm as they're pushing for the core again. Vala is gone, but this one is gonna hit like a truck. This one is gonna move in. 29 minutes into the game, we're gonna see a 30-minute game here. They're starting to make the play once again for Diablos. They're trying to get another kill, but the Hellgate is back ready, and he's jumping back out. Sonya gets attacked too. The core is falling, and it's falling quickly. The boss just too powerful at this point. Here comes the Mighty Gust again. The wind tunnel being used to isolate them, and they are right-clicking the shit out of the core. This is game. This is victory. A 3-1 for the Jellyfish Boys as they move on to the grand final, taking Hacktopia down on Aldrich Pass.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.